Hey, welcome, guys. I have, had the pleasure to have my client Rob join me today, and I just want to ask him a few questions about his experience with, my mentorship, the Thinking into Results mentorship that I facilitate. So it's great to see you, Rob. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well, Joel. Thanks for having me.
Good. You're very welcome. I'm very grateful that you're here. I want to start off by just introduce yourself. Where you live and what you do. Tell me a
Yeah.
bit about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Rob Fry. I'm in the States. I'm based out of Kentucky, Lexington, actually. And I've been following this thinking into results for quite some time. The late mentor, Bob Proctor, I've always studied his work. And when I came across your material, I was just like, this is it. I need to lock in. Time to get serious. So since then, we've been on this journey together, Joel.
Yeah, because I remember the way we met is that you registered for one of my master classes, right? And
True.
what I noticed about you is for one, you had your camera on and you was engaging. I could see it when I was saying things. You was I couldn't hear you because you were all on mute, but I could tell that you was fired up and you already I could tell you knew about this stuff just by the way that you was responding. And we've been working together. I mean, what lesson of thinking into results are you on now? Is it five?
Yes, I am on my second week of lesson five.
Okay.
Yes.
And before we had our first initial call, you mentioned something about the Napoleon
Oh,
Hill
yeah, no
Institute.
doubt. That's
Tell
right.
me, tell me about your background with that. Like
Okay,
what?
so basically, I've been a student of the Napoleon Hill Institute for, I'd say, a few years now, going on two almost, I would say.
Mhm.
And it's a fabulous institute. Of course, it studies the Napoleon Hill principles, um, basically the laws of the universe, and a lot of the same material that Bob teaches. It's pretty much, the same lineage. So, I mean, it's everything's in line, man. I mean, I don't really know what to say, but everything's working out like it's
Yeah.
supposed to. Everything's unfolding like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Definitely, because even your energy from when you started, as soon as we spoke, I was like, you've got to loosen up. I
Yeah,
think you was that deep into this material because I've been
yeah,
in the past where it can be frustrating and it can kind of feel heavy, but we know that kind of blocks the manifestation. And something really interesting about you is before we had that initial call, you already had been through thinking into results with
true,
someone else. Is that correct?
true. Okay, so my first mentor, rest his soul, he's passed away.
Hmm.
So I was basically, he was the one who put me on to thinking into results. I
Yeah.
was able to go through a few of the programs, um, but then he passed.
Yeah.
So wasn't able to get completely through with it. But now that I have circled back around, I'm looking at it through a different perspective, a new set of lenses, if you will. So now it's like I'm no longer just reading the information, just taking more information in. I'm
Mm.
able to embody it.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it into action, so to speak.
Yeah. No, I love that. And that's something you can do. We'll get onto some of your wins. I know you went and test drove your dream car.
Oh,
Um
thanks
but-
for
so so
that.
so you already had access to thinking into results. You already went through it. So what made you decide to what made you decide to join thinking into results with me as your mentor? Yeah, what made you do that?
Okay, so Joel, when I took your master class that Saturday, I believe it was, the moment you spoke, it's like I knew you knew what you were talking about.
Hmm.
Um, so it just locked in. To me, I was just listening to Bob all over again.
Yeah.
So that just resonated with me right off the bat. So I was like, okay, I just need to get on the call with this guy. And Joe, your percentage on your closing rate, man. So as soon as I get a call with you, man, it's a done deal. I'm locked in, and so far, so good. Beautiful results so far.
Thank you. I love the honesty as well, right? I think there's a big aura around selling, and I love selling because my mindset around selling is I can only help someone if I sell them. So we'll get onto your dream car, right? Like that's what you want, but someone has to sell that to you. And by selling you your dream car, essentially they're helping you, right? Where I
Right.
think a lot of people think that selling is taken away from someone. And I think people that are actually selling just to get money off someone, I think they ruin the sales industry. I think it should be a win-win for each. And you're essentially what you're doing is you're providing a solution to that person's problems. And if you don't believe you have the solution, then I don't think you should be selling them. But tell me your biggest win so far.
Okay, so Joel, I tell you what, just talking about the GLE, before in the past, I was just like, I would be, okay, that's something I would like to have. That's something I would like to have.
Hmm.
Now working with you, I'm able to take action steps towards my desired results, actually. That same day, I had went ahead and scheduled a test drive. And I remember being on the phone, or I had actually texted you, or when I got in touch with you, I was just like, look, man, they're open now. I'm off today. You were telling me, Rob, you got to do it this week. Just do it just do it this week. And
Hmm.
I'm just like, okay. So I went ahead and scheduled the test drive, and I did it that day. I
Yeah.
actually drove, and oh man, it was an awesome feeling. It was an awesome experience. Since that experience, I now park well, I say my old vehicle outside the garage,
Yeah.
and I'm just making room for what's to come.
Hmm.
I'm just making room for what's to come. Some of my other results, though, Joel, I've always had self discipline
Hmm.
through the Napoleon Hill. I have to shout them out because of the discipline that they have given, well, I've given myself.
Hmm.
And I concentrate daily upon my self confidence and my self discipline.
Yeah.
I know that if I can hold my desire in my mind, eventually some form of the object back of it will be obtained. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's working, man. I mean, it's working. It's like, and it's just what you've done for me also is you've opened up my mind to see more opportunities. Whereas, it's just like they say, how many red cards have you passed today? It's like, yeah, you don't pay attention until you put your mind towards looking towards, or I guess putting your subconscious mind to seeing
Yeah.
that red vehicle. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much nails it for me.
Yeah, I love it. And I think well, there's a few things I want to touch on there, right? Because that's what I've kind of taught you through thinking into results is that everyone, well, not everyone, but someone might want a nice car, right? And we ask the universe, we focus our thoughts on it. But if we ask the universe and we believe that the universe always says yes, then why are most people not getting prepared for it? I like the term of Amazon Prime. Let's say
Yeah,
you order a wardrobe off Amazon. You order it, you expect it to come. So then you might go into your bedroom and start removing your clothes from your old wardrobe,
that's right.
getting prepared for the delivery. So I think
That's right.
what I worked with you on is okay, you want this car, but what are you going to do about it? Okay, you
Hmm.
went and test drove it. You're not parking your old car at the drive. You're making space for it. You're letting the universe know I'm expecting it and I'm awaiting its delivery. I also wanted to touch on and I know you're open to being vulnerable, but you was very on the first time I spoke to you, you was studying like a lot. I'm sure you was talk to us about that because you're not
Yeah.
studying as much now, right?
No, but it's a habit. So, I could come out of my office just a little bit more. I
Yeah.
know, in the past I was sealed up in this place.
Hmm.
Less family time. I didn't want to go to the movies, things like that, because all I was doing is just straight concentrating
Yeah.
and working with you. I mean, yeah, the reins have loosened a
Mm.
lot. In
Yeah.
my mind, they've loosened a lot. I'm sure you could like probably just look
Well,
at me and tell. But
yeah.
yeah, definitely. I've given my family more family time, even for myself. It's not just for my family, it's for myself.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, things are, I mean, it's like I keep saying things are going well, but things always go well. Things will always continue to work out for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful as well because the main thing about manifestation is to feel happy and feel good now.
Right.
And when I first spoke to you, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking you're studying so much, but you don't seem happy, and I know that blocks the
Mhm.
manifestation. So what I've really worked on you with is the inside, right? We've changed nothing on the outside. You're doing less studying, but it's not the information, it's the implementation. You know, when I tell people I might wake up in the morning, I might study 4 lines out of a book, but I make sure I embody them,
Mm.
you know, very interesting. And I remember when we had our call, and I love to talk, you know, I get all excited and stuff, and I'm talking. And I remember you pulled out I think it was like a Louis Vuitton wallet, and you was like, Joel, I'm ready to invest. Tell me what to do. And I was just so excited. Do you remember? So what in terms of when you was joining thinking into results, like what was the mind telling you to stop from investing? And how did you overcome it? How did you get
I
over it?
mean, come on now, Joel. It's like everybody has those doubts.
Hmm.
You know, everyone's like, "Oh man, how am I going to be able to afford this?" You
Yeah.
know, it's just not. And you know, I can just remember you saying, "If you just listen to what I tell you to do, if you can follow my instructions, I'm just glad I did." You know, I'm so glad I did.
Hmm.
Joel, man, you know your stuff, man. You know it, and you have a way of relaying the message that gets through to people. That way they can take action. So it's
Yeah.
not like it's just like you give the information. No, you relay it in such a form and a fashion that way we can move on it. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so but going back to that phone call, you know, it's just like that paradigm that I was facing. I knew that I was going to have this feeling of no, this is too much money, or how am I going to be able to do this, or how am I going to? No, I understand what's going on with me. So that might be a difference between me and someone who doesn't know this information. But
Hmm.
you know, since I know the information of I'm gonna face that terror barrier, I'm gonna face that barrier, or there's gonna be a pushback. I
Yeah.
understood what's happening, and now to this point where I'm at now, it's just like, oh man, I'm ready for the next one
Yeah.
because I know that unknown feeling. It's something greater for me.
Yeah, most definitely. And obviously, you've got that level of awareness because you've been in this
Oh
industry
yeah,
for some time. If someone,
yeah,
if someone
it's
knows
true.
about the universal laws, knows about manifestation, but doesn't really know what's happening inside of them when they step out to make that decision, like me and you do,
Hmm.
what advice would you give them to be able to overcome that and make a decision to start attracting more money and change their life?
Okay, so the first thing is to know that you're going to have that fear, that grip. Something's going to tell you, "Hey, it's that almost like it's an ego
Hmm.
telling you, "Hey, man, I got to keep you safe." And if we can just stay in our comfort zone, you'll be safe. But that's you're not going to grow. And what you're wanting is to grow. So in order to do that, you have to step out of your comfort zone. And by doing that is you need some professional um, I don't want to say tutorship, professional coaching, professional mentors, someone who's been down that road, you know, that has or is getting the results that you want. Because if you choose to just stay where you are, 5 years from now, you're going to be in the same spot, wishing, being looking, and being like, okay, man, I wish I would have made that move. I'm just, I mean, that's Joel. That's the reality of it. You know, that's the reality of it.
It's so true. Pardon me, got a tickly cough. Yeah, when you're saying that, what's going on in my mind is, yeah, I was there for 8 years. You know, I had the books. I was watching Bob on YouTube. I was doing all of this stuff, and nothing changed because I didn't have anyone that had a higher level of awareness than me that was helping me implement it.
Right.
You know, and from the coaching calls, like and the Q&A calls, all I'm thinking is how can I help you guys implement it? Because I
Mhm.
know you could read I've read 4 books this year, like 4 books, and we're in the second part of the year, right?
Yeah,
Because
no, right.
I don't want to gather information. I want the implementation. And
Mhm.
I've just come to the end of my mentorship, and she's got the results that I want. And then she's also got a mentor who's got the results that she wants.
Mhm.
Oh. where what we're really doing is we want to be asking things, we want to be studying, and then we need someone that's going to help us implement it. And that's something that you made a decision. And I love you, man. I'm grateful. I love
You already know.
the main thing that I'm really I love to seeing you is you seem happier, you know, and that's incredible. Your energy's lighter. You're a natural leader within the group, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with these people. Thank you so much, Rob.
No doubt, Joel. I just want to say this. There's a lot of free information out there. You think that you can do it on your own. I thought I could do it on my own,
I
but
did.
you need some guidance. You need guide. I needed guidance.
Hmm.
So don't just think that, hey, I got this material. I can just get it off of YouTube, or I can get it off, this, that, and the third. You need guidance. You need that level of awareness. That's what you're lacking. You need a higher level of awareness.
Hmm.
But
Well,
Joel, man,
you can definitely become wiser and get more information from the free
true,
stuff from YouTube, from
true.
podcasts and stuff. You can become more knowledgeable and you can know more. But it's the subconscious mind that's in control of what you do with what you know. And obviously, you know all about paradigms. Pretty much everyone on my YouTube knows about paradigms. And I'll share a story what someone went up to Bob and asked at a seminar. Someone went up to Bob and said, Bob, is it possible to change your paradigm on your own? And Bob went quiet for a minute and he said, do you know what? I don't believe in the word impossible, but for the 55 plus years that I've studied paradigms, I've never found someone that's done it on their own.
Mm,
You know, it's a very difficult thing to do, but it
mm,
can be
mm,
done. And it's through persistence, it's through accountability, it's through implementation. And I
mm,
think it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are actually going to encourage you to follow through with your commitments and your goals. Because what I found is you're always stronger with the support of others. And especially when someone has already been where you are, it's like having a bird's eye view. You know, there's a great quote when you can't see the big picture when you're so close to the frame. I love that one.
okay. 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 Okay.
Rob,
Okay.
thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Same here, Joel.
Perfect. Let me pause that.